What is going on? What exactly is a sampler? In this video, we're going to discuss that very topic, as well as delve into the aspect of why artists use samplers as their primary instrument. But first, I'd like to invite you to like, share, and subscribe to our sampler channel. And with that, let's get to it. Alright, in general, a sampler is a musical instrument that can digitally record audio, which is referenced to as samples, and provide a way to play those samples back by a remote or native device, strictly for the purpose of musical and creative audio purposes. And the latter part is what distinguishes a sampler from any other audio recording device. So why a sampler? There was a time when the goal of a synthesizer was to recreate sounds that occurred in the natural world. So you would buy a synthesizer and attempt to emulate a saxophone or a piano or the human voice or anything that occurs acoustically. Well, guess what? A sampler is amazing at doing those things. And in saying that, a good sampler is a sampler that can do everything a synth can do with digital audio instead of a digitized repetitive oscillator. Now, there are many hybrids and offshoots and iterations of the modern sampler, but in all cases, a sampler always will have an audio input for recording audio and a recording output for hearing that audio. That's sort of the baseline standard. As the lines get a little bit more blurred in the popular sense, you have software samplers that rely on a host for those audio in-out purposes. So for instance, a generic computer would be a host to a sampling software program like Maschine, and while Maschine can sample and playback, it relies on that computer's sound capabilities in order to sample and playback its audio, still falling under the banner of sampler. And the very last gray area of sampling is sample playback devices, like the EMU Proteus One. The Proteus One has internal samples that are stored in its memory that can only be played back. However, you can shape these sounds with the synthesis capabilities within the Proteus One, but it cannot sample. And there's many instruments like this, commonly known as romplers, which is a play on the word sampler, indicating that the sampler could only play from ROM memory, i.e. read-only memory. Now, stepping back, within the hardware sampler realm, we now have today specialized samplers, meaning samplers that are meant to excel at a specific purpose, like the EMU SP1200, which was originally intended to be a drum sampler for accompanying a band to temporarily replace the role of a drummer. So the SP1200 has 8 pads representing 8 percussion instruments of your choice, which can be tuned and played and sequenced in a fashion that a drummer would. So let's just take a listen to a couple sounds coming out of the SP1200. Now, the most traditional of samplers that we have is an all-purpose keyboard sampler. Now, one of the most popular questions that I receive is, can you sample the human voice, or can you sample something from the real world? Meaning, can you just plug a mic into a sampler and sample into it? And the answer is absolutely yes. You can record anything you want. And in today's times, the role of a sampler has expanded to various areas of sampling, meaning just straight sample playback from a library or creation of sounds. The latter being the preferred way most modern sampling artists use a sampler. And to demonstrate that, I've just run a microphone outside, randomly picking up city noise in Toronto, and ran it straight to the Ensoniq EPS 16 Plus. So let's see what we got. Right? Random worldly noises, but only for a little bit. Let's turn this audio source into something we can use like a snare drum. So this is a major reason why we use samplers today. It gives us access to capture sounds, whether digital or acoustic or analog, and twist them using synthesis processing to create something that we really couldn't do with any other instrument that we have available right now. Which takes us into the last, most recent form of samplers, which are highly specialized samplers that excel at mangling and really expanding and stretching what we know digital audio to be. And on that front, Electron Octatrack is leading the field in that area right now as far as hardware samplers go. It is a box that is very forward thinking in the way it treats audio, which makes it a perfect fit for anyone looking for that sort of purpose out of their sampler. And a little bit before that, a sampler that sort of tipped it all off for me in regards to audio mangling is the Roland VP9000. There has never been anything like it before its time. It is capable of doing on-the-fly time stretching and pitch shifting and audio quantizing all live. Even today, I'm still impressed with the VP9000. So if anything, an easy way to categorize a sampler is basically a synthesizer that uses digital audio samples as its oscillators. And the great thing is that digital audio can be whatever you sample. And therein lies the power of samplers today. Samplers allow you to take any sound source you can think of, record a bit of it, and switch it into anything else in a creative way. Anyway, thank you for watching. If you liked and learned something today, subscribe to us here on YouTube. I will catch you on the next one. In the meantime, take care of yourself. Peace.